and it's titled, "Where Do I Put My Faith?" At this point in my life, I am unsure where I will find the guidance I am looking for. Growing up, it was pray to Jesus, what I want to believe, but I have never felt that connection. That being said, I want to find something I can offer up my goals, dreams, thoughts, prayers, where I feel like there is an answer, or at least a place where I feel like I'm being heard. I want to take steps in the right direction for my life, but I'm not sure where to turn or how I will get there. Do I just trust in the plan? I guess for now, that is where I'll go, but I would like to find guidance. I just want to find purpose and meaning for my life. If you would have told me when I wrote that in my journal that 4 years later, I would have encountered Jesus, I would do a Bible study with my teammates, that I would pursue a life fully committed to the Lord and want to be a missionary, I would have said you were crazy. My name is Sarah. I am a fifth-year senior on the women's basketball team at Florida Tech, and I just graduated with a degree in business administration. How did I get to this point in my life? So I'm just gonna give a little short story. So I grew up in a town, like a smaller town outside of Pittsburgh, and I have the most amazing family. I was raised with the values of God, family, and sports. Like that was my house. And I had two parents, they both were college athletes, and then two older brothers. And I feel like in the beginning, I played basketball because I just wanted to be like my older brothers and do something my dad loved, and he loved basketball. And I know now that that was a gift that God had given me. So fast forward, coming out of high school, I went to Marshall University in West Virginia for 2 years. The first year of that was COVID, and then the second year was when I decided to enter the transfer portal and that I was ready for a fresh start. When I went into the transfer portal, that was a really tough decision for me, and so I had started developing, I would say, anxiety and depression. I went into counseling at my old school before I went in the transfer portal that summer, and then that summer was really, I would say, one of the lowest points in my life. I got to a place of, for the first time, like hopelessness. And I even had thoughts of, I have no idea what my purpose is, and I feel like my life would be better if it just stopped now. Like I had no idea where I was going. But then I got the opportunity and an offer to come to Florida Tech, and I just took it. I thought, Florida, warm weather, the beach, like my life's gonna get better. That's what I thought, so I just did it. I've always been a little free-spirited, I thought life was just experiences. So I came to Florida Tech, and anxiety and depression did not go away. I think it got worse. I was going to the counseling center at the school, asking for sleeping pills. I sat down with the lady and I was like, I can't sleep, I need medicine. My hair started falling out. So yeah, everything was getting worse, and I didn't know how to get out of this hole that I was in. And then so this was my first year here. March of that year, my best friend from home, so she was not someone that you would think is a Christian. She's not in church on Sundays. She's not that kind of girl. But I'd found out that she gave her life to Jesus. 2 days later, she died in her sleep. And that was a click moment for me of, okay, God is real, and it has to be Jesus if she found Jesus. And that was also when I realized that there is a spiritual battle that goes on for our souls, and that death is like a real thing, and it can come so unexpectedly. Now I'm like walking this journey, like, okay, I'm gonna figure out Christianity. So anytime someone offered something to me, you wanna go to church, you wanna go here, I'm like, yes, yep, I'll go, yep. So I was going to different churches, Bible studies, like just whoever it was that was a Christian, I wanted to talk to, basically. And I ended up at a church, and I gave my life to Jesus there, and yeah, started walking with the Lord. One of the most amazing things about FCA and what they've done in athletics for us is the amount of Bibles we've distributed, seeing they give them to us for free, seeing all my teammates and people on teams with Bibles in their hands. I think that is the most amazing part of, or one of the most amazing things that I've seen come from the presence of FCA. Now I'm walking with the Lord. That summer I gave my life to Christ, so now I have 2 years left here at Florida Tech, and after that happened, I felt like the Lord was doing so much in my life that I wanted to share it with everyone, and I always wanted to make an impact on people and make an impact on my team, and now I had a way to do it. So when I got back to school, I decided I wanted to start a Bible study for my teammates, and then things just happened. I ended up meeting Brian Barlotta on men's lacrosse, and he was doing the same thing. He wanted to start FCA within the athletic program and doing Bible studies on his team. So then just everything started working, the ball started rolling, and now there was an FCA presence on our campus, and we do Bible studies with the leaders every week on our teams. Last summer, I was presented with an internship, and it was with a company called Court Kings, and it's a missions organization, and they use basketball as a tool to spread the gospel, and they go into like inner cities, places where people normally don't go. So we took a trip to New York City, and I was in the middle of the projects praying for kids, speaking on a microphone. When I started with Court Kings, I was so shy, I didn't want to talk, and then a few months later I'm like speaking in the middle of the projects with a microphone. I'm sharing my testimony, sharing Jesus with all these kids, and yeah, it was just the most amazing summer. One person that's really inspired my faith, so it's the owner of Court Kings. His name is Victor Martinez. So right out of college, he moved himself into the projects in Richmond just by faith for the sole purpose of reaching people, places nobody wanted to go. The projects it's a place people try to get out of their whole life, and he put himself in it to share the gospel. So that was faith like I've never seen, and that was like a moment for me where I was, okay, Christianity is really cool, and I want to do it like Victor did it. Through FCA, through those weekly huddles, the Bible studies, I've just seen God be so faithful in my team. We actually have an event the end of this month where we're doing ocean baptisms, and we're seeing multiple athletes committing their lives to Christ, and 2 of them being my teammates. So it's just amazing, just the whole process and how I've seen the love of God just spread through all of athletics. When I came to Christ, it was like just like whole, oh my gosh, like it's Jesus, like this is my purpose. Should I go into ministry? Like I want to be a missionary because I love to travel. So it was like, okay, I'll be a missionary. How am I going to do that? So it's like researching, how can I be a missionary? Like what job should I get? And then it kind of hit me this year of like basketball is the gift that God has given me to meet people, to travel. It's opened all my doors in my life. And I'll tell you, whatever your purpose is in life, that is where the enemy is going to attack you. It was like basketball was so hard, but it's because it was my purpose. It's so fulfilling for me. What's next for me? Now I'm taking basketball and I'm gonna play overseas, get a master's degree. So now it's like, okay, I am a missionary. I am a missionary for the Lord, but I'm using the gifts He gave me to do it. Following Christ and getting to know Him through His Word, what I realized was a lot of the darkness and the depression and anxiety that I was living in, it was a part of my choices. We have the free will to make decisions every day. And I didn't know this then, but some of the decisions I made put me in darkness. A lot of times when we make decisions, we put ourselves into the hands of the enemy for him to do what he wants with our lives. For anyone watching this, if you're confused, if you feel like there's no purpose for your life, if you're seeking, there's all these religions, like what's the truth? Is it Jesus? Just ask. You don't have to believe in Jesus. All you have to do is ask, like, God, whoever you are, I want to understand this. I want to know you. And any prayer, like, he will show up in your life and he will take you on a journey, I promise you. I will tell you that it's Jesus, and you're gonna find Jesus. And he is the way, he's the truth, and he is the life. He is the only way to heaven. I just want to thank my family, thank Florida Tech FCA, just for the impact you've had on me and then all of athletics here. I want to thank my partner that works right beside me, Remy Smith. Thank you to Brian and everyone that does such an amazing job with Florida Tech athletics.